Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our four-part series on our SADD programming here in Missouri. You're now very familiar with the face you see below, and Chris Dzurick is here with us, and he is our SADD coordinator for Missouri, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Man, thanks as always for having me.
So would you tell us a little bit about the TextLessLiveMore? We even discussed how we trip over that.
Yeah, certainly. So TextLessLiveMore is one of SADD's partner programs, and they use TextLessLiveMore as their premier distracted driving and distracted living program. So TextLessLiveMore has two different sides to the program, which we will talk about, of course, during this session today. But again, it's focused on distracted driving, but then also making sure that individuals, the students, understand the value of putting down their cell phones and living a distraction-free lifestyle and engaging with those around them and the opportunities around them. So as you all know, cell phones have become quite the prevalent item in the news when we talk about youth crashes. 25% of all auto collisions involve a cell phone. That's from the National Safety Council. And then texting while driving makes you up to 23 times more likely to be in a crash, according to the FCC. So these are some scary, scary numbers, and we all know how distracting that cell phone can be, but we also know, particularly with youth, it's really hard for them sometimes to disengage with that when they are headed back from school or headed to and from work. So TextLessLiveMore is really here to solve that. So TextLessLiveMore is a peer-to-peer program, just like SADD's three in-house programs. And again, it focuses on ending distracted driving permanently, preventing tragic accidents and death caused by distracted driving. What's important to note about this is that we're not only talking about the student who might be operating the vehicle, we're talking about those around them and those in the car with them. TextLessLiveMore actually started because a young lady named Merritt passed away when a distracted driver utilizing their cell phone hit her while she was on her bicycle and killed her. So the entire premise of TextLessLiveMore comes from her story, her family, and her friends coming forward to put an end to these tragic accidents. Additionally, we do talk about the other elements of distracted driving. It's not just a texting problem. It's utilizing social media. It's using phones to navigate through different music and playlists, anything that those individuals are doing behind the wheel, but also how they engage with those in situations that aren't behind the wheel, that distracted living aspect. And that's called Get Living, which is part of the TextLessLiveMore programming. So TextLessLiveMore has two main activities within the program toolkit. The first is the Take the Pledge event. And this is hosted as a school assembly, so that format that many of you are familiar with. And the entire purpose of this is to talk about the TextLessLiveMore mission, its objective, and then of course sharing different facts about distracted driving. And TextLessLiveMore gives you all of this information in the packet. So it's really helpful that you don't have to go out there digging for that information. All of that is readily available within the toolkit. Part of this, after all that information has been delivered, is that students will take the pledge to not drive distracted. And then in doing so, there are stickers or bracelets that are available from TextLessLiveMore, where you can then visualize the commitment by having students place those on their cars or wear them around school to really show that they're taking a stand against distracted driving. Now, of course, all this doesn't have to be delivered in a school assembly format. While the toolkit provides the instructions for doing so, there are many ways that you could adapt this program to utilize in your school as morning announcements, as an activity that can be done during a homeroom period, during a lunch hour, at sporting events. So we certainly encourage your adaptation to best fit your school's local needs. There's also the TextLessLiveMore challenge, and this is a social activity, so a different way to target our youth. And we ask students in this program to actually turn off their cell phones for at least the duration of the event, but then challenging them to turn it off for at least an hour every single day to enjoy those around you, the world around you, go do things outside, spend time with friends, not needing that cell phone to be that element that's always in your hand. We're also teaching students to relearn how to be more present with each other and some of those valuable skills that workplace is demanding, that teamwork, that communication, that collaboration. So much of that gets lost in our nonverbal communication when we're using our cell phones, and this really encourages those students to re-engage with the world around them. When it comes to advocacy in the TextLessLiveMore program, you will find a monthly campaign, and this encourages both distraction-free driving and distraction-free living. And this is a month-by-month campaign, and if you've followed the ACT Missouri social media, you know that we promote the monthly campaigns from TextLessLiveMore. There are emails and blogs and school assemblies that are part of these. There are activities that come every single month, and they're all in the toolkit for you. What's most unique about this level of advocacy is that it's actually developed by student leaders who volunteer with TextLessLiveMore. So they create activities, again, the peer-to-peer concept, that really focus on youth driving change with youth. The other activity within the advocacy component is actually Merit's story, which we did share just a little bit earlier about the accident that she was in that ultimately led to her unfortunate passing. This was the foundation of TextLessLiveMore, and there are materials in there for how you can share Merit's story to advocate for change in your own community. I want to thank you all for sitting here with us today and learning a little bit more about TextLessLiveMore, and I am certain if you are familiar with these, Alicia has some questions that we can answer.
Yeah, so you mentioned a toolkit. So where do they go to get the toolkit for the TextLessLiveMore?
Yeah, with TextLessLiveMore, there's actually two different ways you can get the toolkit. Our preferred method is to utilize the SADD portal. So once you're a SADD chapter, you can head in to the SADD membership portal under resources, and you can access the toolkit there. Additionally, you can sign up directly with TextLessLiveMore, and you can access the programming there and some additional resources as well that are all linked in that toolkit still. You're going to get the same experience either way you go, but certainly for our registered SADD chapters, the SADD portal is the place to go for all those resources, toolkits, and connections.
Great, that sounds good. And I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow, on Friday, we will be hosting the Facebook Live, and Chris will be joining us to answer any questions that you have about this 4-part series that we've recorded on the SADD programming. So please join us and use that forum to get whatever questions answered that you have and to just gain more knowledge too. So Chris, thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, good, thanks.